Hey everyone, it's Jack from WhatCulture.com. Now, I think before Fast Count starts, I should address that again. I am wearing this jacket, and the more eagle-eyed critics of me may have noticed that I've worn it in the past few videos I've been in. There is a reason for this. I've recently moved into a new flat, and I'm scared of the washing machine. So just a little window there into how my day-to-day life is fraught with anxiety. So, Fast Count. But first of all, let's start off with all of this week's WWE news. Now, this is a first for Fast Count because there is news about to break, but it hasn't quite yet, but we needed to film it. Alberto Del Rio is calling a press conference today. It could be now, it could be as we speak. He could be talking about anything. He could be talking about his favourite food, or his favourite colour, or, you know, the ins and outs of his and Paige's relationship. But probably he's going to be talking about his status with WWE, and the vast majority of people think that he's going to announce the end of his time with the company. And now we move on to Paige, the girlfriend, I suppose, of Alberto Del Rio, and of course the former Divas champion. Paige has had a hard time in WWE for the past year or two now. She's found herself in the doghouse for whatever reason, whether you believe it to be more her fault or more the company's fault. She's certainly not as high in the pecking order of the women's division as she once was. And she's recently hired legal representation. So, again, like the news of Alberto Del Rio, this seems to sort of spell, if not the end for Paige's WWE career, at least troubles moving ahead. And finally, the semi-finals of the Cruiserweight Classic have been confirmed. On one side of the bracket, we have Zack Sabre Jr., the wizard of the UK. Harry Potter's not the only wizard from the UK wrestling. I like Zack Sabre Jr., but that promo, I hope it was the line they fed him. Zack will be taking on Grand Metalik, and on the other side of the bracket, Kota Ibushi, or as Mauro Ronaldo calls him, Kota Ibushi. He'll be taking on, that was dreadful, he'll be taking on TJ Perkins, the dab master dude and all that. The two matches should be great. All four guys can really go in the ring, and I think the final is airing later on that same show next week in a live Cruiserweight Classic Finals special on the network. And just before we move on to the next news story, special shout out to Noam Dar, who of course spent some time in WCPW, and I hope your arm's okay, Noam, because if you watch the finish to his match with Zack, I'll not say what happens, but it's nasty, it's brutal. And now it's time, if I just prepare myself, because it's gonna get intense, because it's one of those weeks where the news from elsewhere in the wacky world of wrestling has far eclipsed the news in WWE. That's right, it's time for the second segment of the Fast Count. It's your favourite, it's all the news from elsewhere. I've said it already, but it's been a big one. It's been a big week. First of all, and I'm really going to have to steel myself before I talk about this because it sparked a lot of controversy last time because I dared to mention that I didn't like the final deletion between Matt and Jeff Hardy. But we have the second installment in the Delete saga, or whatever we want to call it. Delete or Decay. Various things happened. Senor Benjamin may be dead. That's a big shocker. Vanguard 1 almost certainly is dead. Jeff Hardy, or Brother Nero, sacrificed himself in front of the shop from Abyss with his weapon, Janice. And Matt was like, oh, that's so cool of you. There was a mist spot where Matt Hardy sucked in all of the mist and then spat it. Watch it for yourself. I can't talk about it anymore. The one thing I will say is, it had an ambiguous ending, so it's probably not going to even end. There'll probably be a third one, and I can't wait. And Richard, the editor, is nodding because he loves it. He loves it. Why? Just quickly, why do you like it so much?
Because it's amazing.
Because it's amazing. Insightful content here at WhatCulture.com as per. Now let's move on to California, where the Battle of LA took place last weekend, and lo and behold, I finally got a prediction right. I said that either Marty Scurll or Pentagon would win. They fought each other in the first round, and Marty Scurll did indeed go on to win the Battle of LA. I'd like to take this time to thank my family, my friends, but in all seriousness, Marty is a fully deserving winner. If you've seen him on WCPW, he's a fantastic wrestler. One of the leading lights of the UK indie scene, and there are surely bigger and better things in his future, and this is probably just the first step to much greater things later on. So big congratulations to Marty. Big shout out to all the guys who appeared in the tournament who have also appeared in WCPW. Pete Dunne, Will Ospreay, Cody Rhodes is coming up, of course, and it looked to have been a fantastic weekend of wrestling. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, and we'll talk about what a good time Dave Meltzer had over there, because he had maybe the best time of his life, it looked like. And now we come on to the return of Lucha Underground Season 3. See what I did there? If you watch it, that's Pentagon's thing. It was a pretty good first show for the new season. The main event was Pentagon v Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio won, which you might not agree with given Pentagon's rising star status and Rey Mysterio's veteran status, but he did then attack Rey after the bell and threatened to break his arm, and then Dragon Azteca Jr. came back and saved Rey. It all, as Lucha Underground does, it all leads to stories later on down the line. I'm sure it'll all pay off. Fantastic stuff. Various surprising things happened during the earlier parts of the show as well, not least Honky Tonk Man making a cameo appearance in the opening segment alongside Dario Cueto. Who would have seen that come in? Don't worry, he didn't wrestle or anything. You also had a title match between Matanza and Son of Havoc, which was pretty good, and Dario unveiled his Eric Bischoff wheel of, random selection, which is totally a work, but it's fine. Unless it's not a work, I'm pretty sure it's a work. Anyway, yes, Lucha Underground's fantastic. Can't speak highly enough of it. Do check it out if you can. And now, and this is a shoot because I had a pizza last night, it's time for all of the takeaways. Although mine was quite disappointing. It was just a supermarket oven pizza. It's not very good. But these takeaways are going to be fucking fantastic. Now, our first takeaway concerns Dave Meltzer and the concept of star ratings. And I want you to leave all your comments below. What do you think of star ratings? Do you think they're worth anything? Do you think they're worth everything? Do you think that Meltzer is the only star rating that matters? Or do you think that anyone's opinion, just generally say what you think about star ratings? Because from the moment about a month ago that I said on Fast Count that 5-star matches are very rare, Meltzer's just been dishing them out like it seems on a weekly basis. It hasn't quite been that, but there was another one this week, a 6-man tag match from the Battle of LA weekend featuring Will Ospreay, Ricochet and Matt Sydal v Bullet Club, Adam Cole and both of the Young Bucks. Now I don't doubt that match was brilliant. I've not seen it personally, but I've seen some highlights and it looks like they were pulling off some incredible stuff, as you'd imagine guys of that caliber can do. However, this is a bit of a surprising one because Meltzer tended, I guess from what I've seen of Meltzer, usually to reserve those 5-star ratings for incredible matches which are backed up by incredible storylines such as CM Punk v John Cena at Money in the Bank 2011. Matches of that ilk. This match, from what I can tell, it isn't built upon too much direct history between the guys. They've all sort of clashed in New Japan or Ring of Honor and places like that, but it wasn't like the sort of culmination of a massive blood feud or anything like that. Theories have flown around on the internet since saying that Meltzer, because he was there, matches always seem better when you're there, caught up in the moment, all the fans going crazy and everything like that. Please do get in touch if you've seen the match. Do you think it was a 5-star match? Am I being a little too harsh? But on that note, I would just like to congratulate Will Ospreay because he's the second ever Brit to be part of a 5-star match after Dynamite Kid. That's how long ago the previous one was. So, massive congratulations to him. But how valid do you think the rating was? Now, of course, tomorrow night it's UFC 203, which means that it's time for CM Punk to make his rapidly anticipated MMA debut. Now, things in the Punk supporting camp have taken a bit of a negative turn recently because it was reported at the start of the week that Punk could be close to 30 pounds overweight. Now, MMA fighters often do cut a ridiculous amount of weight in a ridiculously short time, but for someone like Punk, who is in his late 30s, he has no prior MMA experience of cutting weight, he probably, if this is true, won't be able to do that healthily in that short space of time. And this would then surrender 20% of his purse to Mickey Gall. It would be a catch weight bout. It would really dilute the legitimacy of CM Punk's journey so far. So I hope the reports are false. I really want CM Punk, whether he wins or loses, to have, done this the correct way, to have fulfilled all his obligations. Yeah, I just really hope it isn't true. If it is, the fight will of course mean less, but I'm sure it'll still attract a massive audience as well. Do you think CM Punk's going to win? Do you think Mickey Gall's going to win? He is the heavy favourite. I think at the minute he's about 1-4 from certain bookmakers. So what do you think? Who do you think is going to win? Get those predictions in, and don't forget to check out all the coverage of the event on WhatCulture MMA. And beyond the world of real fighting to our favourite little world of professional wrestling, which isn't fake. I'm not getting into that whole fucking thing. It is Backlash on Sunday. Yes, it's come around that quickly. We can't believe it here at WhatCulture Towers. You've got a number of intriguing matchups and a number of not so intriguing matchups. The Miz v Dolph Ziggler. No, but you've got what should be a good match between AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose. No one really knows what the finish is going to be for that one. It's not too predictable at all. You've got Randy Orton v Bray Wyatt. You've got the women's six-pack challenge for the new belt and the finale of the Tag Team Championship tournament as well. So it'll be eventful, but the quality of it could be anywhere from great to dreadful. I'm really not sure how this one's going to go. And if you fancy checking out our reactions to Backlash, myself, Adam Blompier, Adam Pacitti, and Sam Driver will be recording our reactions to Backlash and releasing a highlights video in the days following the event. So I'm sure that'll be as messy as ever. The long-awaited return of our live watching of WWE pay-per-views, our bread and butter, as it were. So yeah, let's close the no more news. That's it. That's the end of news. So I've been Jack from WhatCulture.com. This has been the Fast Count. Thank you very much for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at Jack_the_jobber. What a packed week of news that was. Exciting, isn't it? And what a great weekend ahead too. A sunny note to end on the Fast Count. And I'll see you soon.